is Ed Levine. Introducing your three judges.
Screaming out, but Jhosua, there's confidence, there's aggression. Pulev, Pulev's on the ropes, he's hurt, he turns his back. That's the section save you. Now, I don't know if that's what Pulev wanted, but he was almost out on his feet. Oh, another one, and Pulev is hurt. Pulev is rocked, he's on shaky legs, and down he goes. Third knockdown of the fight for Anthony Jhosua, right hand, and down goes Pulev, and that's it. Of South Africa is the referee, and we're underway. No instructions needed. Anthony Jhosua. Jhosua, of course, big, fluid, determined, but he can't fight the offensive arsenal.
Early on, you see Kubrat Pulev
with the jab, tries to the body early. You're right, if he stays at that distance where,
Pulev's best punch is a well-timed jab, and like he caught Klitschko coming in that first round.
Jhosua last year, he told me the key for Pulev was to time that Jhosua jab. He said Jhosua
type of weaponry. What he has is a good long jab and a good strong right hand, but it's just much.
Right, if he can aim that jab at the chest or even the belly, because right now Pulev, you know, he has his arms open like that.
Find that range.
You know, that first round.
What is, and is it important for him just to establish some rhythm here early in the fight?
Well, rhythm is important about it. Right now, he's handling things right. He's disciplined, fighting behind the jab.
Kubrat, long right hand, it's blocked. Jab, you can see the range advantage. Something with his style in fighting the younger man and the more talented athletic man.
No, that's what.
Takes a good long look. Pulev tries to the body. Couldn't quite uncork it. Of confidence, not yet, and not willing to engage. And look, maybe
in front of Pulev too long to get timed, and he's fine. But look, right here, he just needs to not.
Halfway through round number 2. This fight.
Chris is picking up. It's starting to see both men are precautious, you know, very cautious as to what they're doing because.
Right, that Andy Ruiz threw that hurt Jhosua in New York City.
Hook that Pulev's been vulnerable to.
And on Pulev's side, does he come with, and I mentioned like Danny Garcia last week against Errol Spence for the welterweight championship, you know.
Closer to Jhosua to land something over the top.
Able to block those shots pretty well after the bell. A world champion was calling that fight, and I think he pretty much hit a good creative here tonight, and then take the chances necessary to actually win this fight.
He likes to look for strong jabs and openings of the right hand.
But then he's going to throw, right? At that point, Jhosua getting out of trouble. Moving his head nicely, gets under the hook as well. Weaves underneath. Is that fair to say, fellas?
Well, I think Joshua's being patient right now.
Well, no, he is.
Fighter that beat Ruiz the second time.
Gets under the hook again. Weaves nicely underneath. And that clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill. Pulev says he's not hurt. Knocking Pulev around the ring. Hits him with an uppercut as well. Another uppercut. That hurt. That's what you said against Ruiz. Let's see. Can he close the show? This is uppercuts. Right hands. Now a hook. Another uppercut. That uppercut like that, the fight can be stopped. We've seen it many times. That means you no longer want to continue in the referee and take a point away. I don't know if it matters, but he's right about that.
See, that's the thing about a stop.
That's Anthony Jhosua at his best. Big, fluid. He was boxing well, moving his... He's a tough man, but he's been knocked down twice already. Vladimir Klitschko, November of 2014. Blood on the... That's his right hand. That's his money shot. He threw the jab and came up with a hard right. And again, I brought up, this was, to that point, the Anthony Jhosua in the third round. Give him credit for that.
And you have to remember, you know what you're getting into with that type of fight.
Left.
Well, so far, Jhosua staying composed. He didn't get the finish, but he is staying composed, backing up, being careful.
Look, at heavyweight boxing is a show. And the heavyweight division boxed beautifully against Wilder and knocked him out. So Jhosua can make a statement here.
And some big uppercuts, which I believe gave Alexander Povetkin the impetus to throw his uppercut.
Got our full team led by Gabby Logan there ringside. We'll have full reaction after this bout. Anthony Jhosua putting Kubrat Pulev, the tough Bulgarian fighter. I'm very surprised he's still in this fight. I mean, Chris, when he was getting rattled around, it looked like it was...
For the right shots.
Jhosua, if he's thinking this way, I mean, it's unlikely at this point in the fight.
Yeah, I don't know if I call it a weakness, but I had this conversation with Manny Robles. Rub a crack in
I
it.
can box, I can get on my toes, I can box. I just fell in love with my power. So now, do we see in this good hard jab and a right hand by Jhosua? That's a snap the head back on Pulev.
Side.
And there was a period of time where a beatdown here by Jhosua might change the perception, and the perception
Sells. Neither one of those guys is considered unbeatable. Both.
Here we go, round 6. Anthony Jhosua looking sharp. First fight since the to fight. Now Kubrat Pulev in the same under the same circumstance.
Pulev has readjusted, found his legs. He's coming forward, and says Pulev is.
That was a good pull right there. I mean, he just put it straight up the middle and jarred. See a little better rhythm and a little more confidence from Jhosua. He's got his head up a little bit, but he's smart.
Not seeing Pulev get that jab off as often as we had in some of his more successful moments.
Tries with Pulev is 39 years old. He's in great condition. His only loss to Vladimir Klitschko, but he's got to be careful. Good long jab by Jhosua. Jhosua measures him, tries to get him with an uppercut, and actually holds the back of his head. You can't do that. You can't. And that's where he's got his only chance, really.
And if you're in with that right hand to try to land a big shot, if you time it, you can connect with a bigger one.
Downs already. Let's go ringside. Gareth Davies is our ringside reporter. Gareth, your thoughts on the fight?
Stoppage in the next couple of rounds, because we know Anthony can be vulnerable. So I think
I wants to see this end. I get his point, though. Look, Jhosua has 21 knockouts. Sergio, about that third round. Jhosua throwing his hands is something special.
Sometimes one of the worst. So that's when he gets encouraged, and I think that's what we're seeing with Pulev. Just, you know, he went through the worst.
Putting his foot on the gas now. There was a little something extra on that right hand. Then Pulev lands with enough warning. Yeah, a warning, you know, during the round. You can do that. He has not had real... And throwing that vicious uppercut multiple times, trying for damage.
That combination earlier in the round.
And by the way, just to finish that thought earlier, that was Rocky. And there was multiple entrance music as well between time IBF mandatory challenger. Again, just one pro loss, and that's to Vladimir Klitschko. Bulgarian Olympian in 2008 as a professional, 28-1. Sergio, what would you tell Pulev? Pulev didn't try to cheap shot Jhosua. He had a chance. He landed that right hand. Good right hand by Pulev. Jhosua has his head up in the air, a little high.
And he's also
Jhosua, not much, but it could be his big chance. He was as light as he really could be. Getting back his belts against Andy Ruiz.
a little bit more athletic with it. He has to hide it with some nice throwaway jabs, then come around the guard. Kind of clumsy with it, Pulev is with that left hook. He needs to be a lot more athletic with it.
Up here in London, just like old times.
Yeah, he's doing exactly what I thought he would. What his plan was is to be disciplined.
Here now and then. But again, Pulev, consistent, trying to get back into this fight.
Best round to date.
He's retired now, I can say that, can't I? Well, he was retired then, by the way. Round 9, heavyweight unification. And Anthony Jhosua has shown the ability to box in this fight against Kubrat Pulev.
With a left hook. He would bait you in with jabs, then catch you off guard and come around your guard.
And the type of place he was against Vladimir Klitschko 6 years ago. And he is not going to win the fight without 80,000 people there. And you hear the calling out from both sides.
Gave Pulev the last round a strong first minute. I thought he landed the most consequential punch.
In that round, too. Maybe, maybe not. But it's a good scorecard. Look at these uppercuts, too.
That's straight up.
You rarely see 3 in a row land. Uppercuts, anyway. Oh, another one, and Pulev is hurt. Pulev is rocked. He's on shaky legs, and down he goes. Third knockdown of the fight for Anthony Jhosua. Right hand, and down goes Pulev, and that's it. Oh, in London, and he deserves to.